My name is Catherine. I'm your next door neighbour, your best friend, your sister, your daughter, a mother. I am the woman you glance at in the supermarket, the woman who you chat to over coffee, the woman who makes videos and many more things, all usually with a big smile on my face. But like many women and men in this world, I hide a big secret. I am also a victim of abuse. Today I appear before you as a woman who no longer will be bullied nor ignored. This evening, a police officer called me after an escalation that made me once again fear for my life and my children's lives. The police officer called me whilst my ex was standing right next to him. Sarcastic and rude he was towards me. No compassion, simply a somewhat seeming mateship with my ex, as if he was the victim, because now I choose to stand up for myself and fight back. I requested a female officer and was told, "Ha, like that will happen." I hung up on the officer, but like my abuser, he called back, so I hung up on him again. I called the police station back 45 minutes later and spoke to an officer who knows what battered women go through. He understood the stages. I am thankful that he listened and actually heard me. I appear before you to say I no longer allow this man to hurt myself or my children. I appear before you to say it is not okay to physically abuse another human being. It is not okay to psychologically harm another human being. I sit here shaking, but my words flow freely, as I choose no longer to live a life of fear. Bruises and breaks go away, but the harm that has fallen upon myself and my children will always stay a lifetime. I appear before you to state I am stronger than I thought I was. Several months ago, I felt defeated. Several months ago, there was nothing left of me. Who am I if not my children's mother? Who am I if I do not do everything in my power to protect my children from harm and to teach my children right from wrong? Is 10 years not enough to say stop, enough? Most people that are abused fall into the same cycle from their childhood. I am one of those children who had a father who abused me. Same cycle, different man. Except now, instead of me being the child, it is my children who suffer. Most people in my life have no idea how bad it was. That several times I've been beaten to the point I became glassy-eyed and calm. No fight left in me to stop it happening, because I thought, this is it. I'm going to die. I would simply stare silently away from my children and wait for a brick or a shovel or a steel-capped boot to end me, while silent tears came out. After a while, there are no more tears. You just take it because you feel you have no choice. You stop touching people and allowing yourself to be touched. You stop feeling anything. Until recently, even being hugged by someone was a struggle. You put on a front, a smokescreen, if you will, to stop people knowing, as there is great humiliation with being an abused woman. And you wonder who will believe you, as the man that is the abuser is usually well liked and seems to be a nice guy. I have not been with this man for several months, but still the abuse continued, and the fear of the outcome of the escalation is always present. My fear now comes out as anger, where my fear once came out as a sorrowful, pitiful woman defeated. The boundaries of relearning how not to be abused anymore is blurred. How do I not fight back so hard that in the end I too become an abuser? I appear before you now as a woman no longer torn about what is the right thing to do. I appear before you as a woman who will move forward and restart my life with my head held high. I appear before you as a woman whose children, as they grow, will understand the difference between abuse and indifference. I appear before you as a woman who says no more abuse, As of this day, I am taking my life back completely. I say farewell to that once weak, broken woman. I appear before you to say the protective sheath I have had myself covered in will be gone. Why did I not stop the abuse before now? I cannot answer that other than to say this. When you are abused, there are different stages that you go through, and everyone is different. I had to reach the point where I could no longer forgive. Sometimes not forgiving is a point you need to get to. My abuser started using my depression as a tool to for him to get away with his behaviour and to cover his tracks more. I was recently told by 2 psychologists they did not believe I have bipolar, but it is clinical depression, as when the abuser is not around, I am happy. As I have gotten stronger over the last several months, I have learnt to stand up and fight for what I want in this life. An all new way of thinking, and sometimes I overthink and become emotional, but I do not break. This was the last thing I needed to be ready to deal with, and I am now. I appear to you today as a strong woman. I appear to you today as a woman who will succeed, not only for myself but for my children. I appear before you today to say no more. If you are abused, stand up and fight. If you are abused, say no more. If you are abused, realise that we may not know each other, but we are out there and we understand. Be proud of who you are and realise that you do have a choice. Do not fear any longer. You are stronger than you think you are. Thank you.